Okay, welcome back to Melanin Madam. I was about to say my other name. Welcome back to Melanin Madam. Tonight we have Vanessa back with us, and we are going to be having I'm sure, very intriguing conversation. I should learn a lot. I'm not really interested in learning a lot. I'm just being nosy. So tonight's topic is about poly relationships. So if you haven't already, if you're not logged in on YouTube, please switch over to YouTube so that we can make sure we can see your comments. And that way, if you have any questions, Vanessa can answer them while we're actually live. And then as well, don't forget to like, comment, and share. So we are going to start with Vanessa introducing herself. Obviously not her name because I already said it.
Well, up here we got sexiness right here. Just someone who's really, really into relationships. It could be poly, it could be single-handed, monogamous. It don't matter. Whatever it is, I'm trying to touch into it. So let's go. I've been asking around about this thing.
You have?
Oh yeah, I've been in several conversations when it comes to like poly relationships and things like that. I know quite a few people who want poly relationships and maybe open relationships, all of those good things. So I'm like, yo, this is what let me put this do not disturb on.
Okay, so I have a question. This is my first question. With poly relationships, like I know what poly relationships like started as, right? They're supposed to be a benefit to everybody in it. I think that people is just taking different things and wanting to add like the label of a poly relationship. But what is actually a poly relationship in like today's society or whatever?
Yeah, people are confusing poly relationships with open relationships pretty much. Poly
I could barely hear you. See if you can turn up your mic just a little bit.
Okay, let's see. Turning me up. Can you hear me better?
Try a little bit. Is it coming through the mic on your car?
No, it's not. I made sure that I tried to make sure it wasn't so it wouldn't feedback.
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe that's what we need to do.
Let's try that real quick.
Give me a
second. While we're trying that, I'm gonna actually do this. I'm going to play what I think poly relationships look like in The Big Surprise. So I'll play that.
If that's what we always get, that's wife. I said you, come on, get away. Happen.
Just give me the box, please. Hand it over to me.
Rose, is this not Rose? Rose, you did not tell me you were coming to see us now. Eh? Get one.
Do you know her?
Back in the days.
Oh, I understand. I told you I have two wives. These are my two wives, Juliana and Tomato. So meet my latest wife, my dear. You're welcome.
Thanks, my love.
Why don't you go inside? Feel free. Don't stress yourself, eh? Please. She's hungry. You people should go to the kitchen and do something. Make something for her to eat, eh?
Okay, so it looks like Vanessa went out and came back in. So let me tell y'all, while we're waiting for her, this is what I think ends up happening. I think that people, here she is.
Can you hear me? I
can hear you now.
Okay. I was trying to restore the sound. Sorry about that. Pressed the wrong button.
That's okay. Okay, so here's what I think. I think, number one, if a man is not satisfied, he's never going to be satisfied. Why is it that if there's a poly relationship, it's not two men and one woman? Why is it two women and one man? And he's never going to be satisfied. He's going to bring somebody else in.
It can be where lately we've been seeing the women step up right now and have multiples. So there is a lady who has a husband. She has two husbands and a boyfriend.
Okay.
And they all make it work. Now, the husband, one of the husbands does have another wife that he bought in. So, they're growing. But a poly relationship, what it's
Growing.
supposed to do is
Oingo.
they're growing. Growing. They're becoming a larger family. So poly really, the relationship is supposed to be where everybody is pitching in. Everybody is doing their part. He may be the financial person, or it may be two people who might be financial. Somebody might be the mother of the group. Somebody might be this of the group, but everybody plays their respective parts. Can people do that without getting jealous? I don't think so. I think everybody has a sense of jealousy in them. That's why you don't see too many men wanting to have a male as a second male in there, because he gets hella jealous. Um, and there is a fine line that can be crossed from the jealousy of having the two ladies or the two men. It's a fine line that's right there, and if you cross it, you may not be able to come back over it. So if you're looking at a poly life, you better make sure you want to really do that. You willing to share everything.
So let me tell you something. Okay. I like that you said share everything. Because have you ever seen the show Sister Wives?
I never watched those shows, but I kind of seen some clips when I was in Washington. They were watching it, and give me some feed in, because it seemed like a lot of them are not together no more, or they were recording them and stuff has been happening.
So the reason why I ask if you saw that show is because if I would think about a poly relationship or like a sister wives relationship, like all of them have jobs that create security for the whole family. They all like if they have to make a decision, they all sit at the table to make that decision, be it about the kids, the household, where to move. Their first house that they started in, it wasn't all separate houses for everybody. It was they had one house, but it looked like a forward facing apartment building. Like it was an entrance for each one of them, and you could get to each house from the inside. Like to me, that makes sense. Yeah. So if you're going to do it together, like it should be together. I personally think people just do it because one, I think it's for two reasons. I think one is my man won't stop cheating on me. So if I allow him to be with this person, now I could call it a poly relationship, and he gonna just be with her, and that's all I have to worry about.
He gonna want
Baby
some
girl,
more.
he's not
He
cheating
gonna
on you
want
with one
some
person.
more.
That's first of all.
He gonna be cheating on both of them with the next one.
He was already cheating on both of y'all.
Facts.
My next thing, my next thing is I think that the other thing is you want to have you want to feel the security of sleeping. You're probably bisexual, so you want to sleep with women, and you want to have a man, and you want it to be y'all having a circle. It's a way to have some type of control mentally. But again, it's not going to stop with just the three of you. I think it's always going to be another need, because you open Pandora's box. Just like they say you can get comfortable with one person. Okay, you can get comfortable with two. You can get comfortable with three. You can get comfortable if you're never going to water your grass and continue to make that better. It's never going to end. It's Pandora's box. It's open. Then what do you do?
That people really don't have, like I said, the knowledge of being poly. People don't really want that. That's not. They just want to bring in another person and to make it seem like it is, but no, they just want the sex. So they should just ask for an open relationship at this point in time. Like, yo, can we just have an open relationship? You gonna know where I'm at. You gonna know what I'm doing, and you're gonna know who I'm with. That's open. That's being very open, and you can still do what you do. But a lot of people aren't ready for a lot of those conversations. They just think poly, or they call it lifestyle too. Some of them be like, oh, I'm in the lifestyle. Lifestyle my ass. You just horny, and you want to be out there doing this and doing that with this lady and letting her see you do all of this. And a lot of ladies really don't like that. They just doing it. And I'm saying, if you don't like it, look, if you don't like it, speak on that and say, this is not for me. I can't do this. because it's a lot more than just sex, and that's what people think poly is all about, is the sex. Sex is probably the last thing that they be thinking about in a poly relationship.
My thing is, if I was going to be, so first, let me tell y'all, I got a story. My mom told me. So first, if I was going to be in a poly relationship, I would want two men, first of all. Okay. Second, first of all, I need both of them to be making money on top of money, because that to me would be a business transaction. Is there something wrong with me that I'm always thinking business? Like,
No,
obviously, the sex would be great because I would pick my two best. I would pick my two best.
one and
But
two.
it would be more so like you never hear them starting a business, buying property, creating generational wealth, making sure you don't ever need a babysitter. Like, you never hear about it being a lifestyle. Just say you want to fuck. Like, that's what it is. Just let it be that. Like, stop acting like we're done, because we're not. We're all big kids, okay? And then second, first of all, my mom was telling me a story about my great grandfather. I think he had two women.
Oh,
He bought them both houses next door to each other. When he went to the grocery store, he didn't go for one, he went for both households. The kids grew up together because they were right next door to each other. In fact, when he passed on, they became friends and made sure they took care of each other. And I mean, like, closer, because it was just them. To me, a poly relationship or anything like that it should be male dominant, because the man is the one who protects the kingdom, and he should make sure that he's doing everything. But I just don't think, if you want to just have sex with everybody, just stay single. You don't need to keep creating all these titles and things.
people just feel like they need a title for something. You say stay single, they want to feel like they're attached to something. When you're single, you just single. You're not saying you're attached to anything. So
Wait, you're cutting out just a little bit. Uh-oh. If you guys hear Vanessa, but I can't, let me know, because she doesn't look the same on this one as she does on this one to me. And yes, cousin, second, first of all. Okay?
okay. So okay, here we go. This is what I was saying. If it was me, I would like to be open. I've always thought maybe open, maybe poly. I don't know. But then I'm like you. I just want to have sex. Fuck it. So do I need to have this, and do I need, no, not really. But I do want to. No, let me take that back. I'm all confused over here. No, I couldn't do it, because one, if a broad gets to looking at me crazy inside something, I'm about to be ready to fight her. And it's gonna be a dog walk in the house happening. And I'm a dog walk her. So I couldn't even be part of no poly. Now, open, yeah, we could be in an open relationship. Poly, no. I sometimes I'm selfish.
Even in, okay, so in an open relationship, that just means that you're allowed to do whatever with certain boundaries, but you don't like have to talk to you don't talk to the other woman and like friend her or nothing like that. You just discuss your dates and stuff.
No, he knows your whereabouts, you know his whereabouts, it's just open. So if anything was to happen, he knows where to directly reach you at. Those different things, but people don't like that either. People be saying cheat the old-fashioned way, just don't get caught. I'm like, why we got to do that? Why we just can't be open with it? Why you just can't have a little side piece sometimes that you want to just go over there and hang out with, and then come home and appreciate your relationship a little bit more? Have you ever thought about that? Asia said, let me
Either
drink
way,
on
you're going
that.
to hell. I just
You
need
said
to
I'm
make
going,
that clear.
you said I'm going to
So
hell?
if you're going to do it, I mean, go all out, have fun. Either way, you're going to hell. You're going, okay? Now, to be clear, several reasons why, we could all be going. However, you're definitely going. So what I need you to do is stop trying to act like one has a different moral compass than the other. It does as far as lying. It does as far as lying. some people consider it respect. I don't personally consider it respect. But some do, because they feel like, at least you told me, at least you gave me the option. So that's okay. I can see where that would be respect from that particular space. You gave me the option. So if I said no, I have the option to leave the relationship. Okay, I get that one. But all the people trying to create these titles and these different things to make themselves feel better, nothing matters but a husband and a wife. At the end of the day, when we all return back to dirt and dust, nothing else matters except that, unless you go and get a living trust and all this other stuff, which, by the way, in California, good luck, because a spouse trumps all of that anyway. If you're doing it, why ain't no business wrapped around it? That's what I don't understand. Like, I'm trying, if we're trying, no, I'm not struggling, and I'm in a group, I'm in a group environment. I'm not struggling.
I don't want to struggle either, but I'm saying, is there something that, like, is there money in this, like, where it could be helped to where we can make a little profit off of it, like helping? I need to figure that part out, because I want to figure that out. If it's bread in it, I'm here for the bread.
Even if it's just that one person, like with the sister wives, one was in real estate, one was accounting, I think one was a teacher, and then one worked so that she could be home, to make sure she was there when the kids got out of school, and he was an architect. Like, all of the things fit together, and they all brought something to the table that benefited the family. You don't need to make six figures. I was just kidding with that, but it does need to be value. Where's the value? Where's the value?
It should be substantial, because you got to be able to take care of everybody in the house.
I think so. Like, nobody should be paying for education. Nobody should be without their bills paid. Oh, that was the other thing. And Sister Wives, some of them, like, I think they all put their money in one pot, and they had a separate, like, type of fund, because, like, one girl only had one kid and another one had 5. So, like, that's a total imbalance. Yeah, I'm not going for that. But those are some, like, the things that you need to think about.
You going for it. When you in it, you going for it. Say, when you in that type of relationship, you going for it. Like, you all moms. Everybody is a mother. I'm like, yo, I don't know. See, I don't know if I can handle that, because I wouldn't want nobody else saying certain things to my children. And I would, put my foot down, like, bitch, let me tell you something. You can't say that to her. Go mind your own kid. And even though they siblings, I might say something like that, because we might not believe in the same shit. That's where it starts hurting, at when you're in a poly relationship right there. Because same value.
How many poly relationships, though, do you know? And this is where I have a problem with it, that it actually extends to the family barbecue, to Christmas, to being in the same space. No, you go around the same people that you fucking around. You're not going around your family. It's not your lifestyle. You're lying. If you're okay with it, the same way I walked into church as somebody that was having premarital sex and sin today, why you don't walk in church with your 2 girls? Why you don't walk in church with your family? Why you don't go to Christmas with the family, with everybody? You're supposed to move together.
Some of them probably do, but they probably are not open. Like, some people still keep it, on the wraps, on the low, that they live in this lifestyle. So it's starting to become out, like everything else is opened up, like you said, we're opening up Pandora's box. So somebody decided they was going to go into Pandora's box and pull this piece out. So now here it is. Now it's those who will come out, and there's others that will not, because they don't want their house looked upon and shunned on, by other people. And the same exact thing with like the kids. They don't want their kids, going over there talking about, I got 3 mommies. Like, you got 3 mommies. Now you got the school sitting up there asking questions like, why does she have 3 mommies and 1 dad? And so here it is. It's getting all out there. So I think some people are very private when it comes to the poly life, just so they don't have to expose what's going on in their household.
Yeah, because it is illegal. So on Sister Wives, they started in the Midwest, and then Cody, that's the husband's name. He had gotten a job. I think it was in Washington was next. It was Washington or Vegas that was next. Well, apparently, in all of his cockiness, he didn't check the laws. And as soon as they moved into the neighborhood and he bought 5 houses on the block, the police was coming for them.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the police was coming for them because it's illegal. So they were gonna arrest. Was that Utah? It was one of those up there, but they was coming to arrest them, and they had to hurry up and move. And that's why, if you follow the show, they moved so much since they left the first place. They got comfortable where they were and doing what they was doing because nobody bothered them, but they was in the middle of nowhere. Now you got a little money, you want better opportunities for your kids. Now you want to live closer to the city. People was not having it in the neighborhoods they was moving in, and they kept getting chased out and stuff. So to your point, why is somebody so willing to do this if it can't be your life? It's not your life. It's a secret.
It is secret, but at the same token, it happened for the the alphabet community. I'm just gonna say it like that because I don't know all the letters that go along with it. LGBTQ, XY, all of those, because it's a lot of letters now. But look at how they've moved along. I mean, first it was very quiet and nobody said nothing. It was, we don't speak these things on the outside. Now everybody just open with it. So maybe some of these people are feeling like they're ready to be open and they want it to be accepted, but it takes a lot. Like it takes
But it's literally against the law. You should probably check the laws first. Like, I'm not willing to go to jail for that, for sex. Like, it's against the law. Can you imagine 5 homes you buy? 5 homes, and you got to register all your kids and move all your stuff, and they move it in the middle of the night like pilgrims and shit. And then you finally get settled, and you got to turn around and do it all over again. That's why some of the wives is like falling off right now and don't want to be involved, especially the one that just had 1 kid, because her daughter is grown. So now she keeps getting uprooted, and that's money every time. So she don't want to do it no more. Now it's not worth it. It never was worth it. Now you tired though, but now you invested and in love, and the kids love you, and like it's just.
But I keep seeing it on these shows that people are walking away. So it's something that's not. It's not working. Something is not in agreement. So I don't know. It's something I couldn't do. I thought about it. Like I said, I thought about it. I was like, ooh, the financial part is what I thought about.
That's why I thought about it.
The financial part looked good. But it's all the other stuff that come with it. I'm like, shit, will they be able to deal with my attitude when I'm walking around here PMSing and all of that stuff? Will I be able to deal with her attitude? Because I know I get snappy when it's getting close to that time of the month. Like, yo, such. We'd be in there beefing. He would have to be the peacemaker, and he would have to be a good peacemaker, even though I like to keep the peace, but it's certain stuff, hell no. And if I want something right then and there, I'm kind of like one of those, like, if I can't get it right now, it's going to be a problem in the house. So that's
if I did it, I was just talking to one of my retarded ass exes, and I was asking him, like, have he ever seen any of his friends do it? Because his friends are a little more out there. And he said, yeah. But then when I started asking questions like, okay, well, what kind of things does he do with his kids? What kind of this? What kind of that? And he's like, oh, no, we just be partying and stuff. That's when I'll see them together. I said, oh, okay. Okay, that's a secret. I said, so, no, that's not a relationship. And I was like, you know what? If I was somebody that could do something like that, it would definitely have to be a huge business decision. It would, because and not based on love is why I'm saying a huge business decision. I could not be in poly relationship, open relationship, none of that stuff with somebody I love.
It is hard to do,
and it would have to have an end date.
Yeah.
It would have to have an end date. What you gonna look like at 60 and 70 walking around talking about my husbands and my wife? Like, that's worse than the tattoos. I'm already worried about them getting older.
Oh Lord. Hold on, Asia. I just ran out. I need to call somebody. I'm gonna have to. I'll link back with you in just a second.
I wonder if when people are making all of these types of decisions, what type of moral compass do they use? I mean, I totally get it. I would do it. In the comments, by the way, let me know if you would consider a poly relationship and why or why not. Um, I would for business decisions. I would, because it builds the structure of. I do think it builds the structure of the home. But the people that try to compare it to, oh, back in the day, African kings and queens had multiple wives. I'm sorry, kings had multiple wives. First of all, that's a whole king. He can afford it. I don't think nobody in California should be in no poly relationship because ain't nobody got no poly pockets. I keep saying that, and I believe that. Like, where are we getting this money from? And I'm not staying in a house with another woman and then her kids. Like, no, I'm not, because you could barely, it's hard enough to do things and figure out life because we're all figuring it out as we go to, be able to function as in growing and learning and all of those things that we do every day. But to also add a whole nother woman, and if she comes in it with kids, that means those is basically you're blending families, but instead of people going home, ain't nobody going home. That's a no for me. I'm not gonna be able to do that at all. I do see where sexually, I get that too, because but then what do you do if you have one person that's like really out there and the other person is not? Do you have sex more with one than the other? And then when you have women in the household, your cycle syncs together too. So it's not like you can say, oh, well, when one has her cycle, I sleep with the other one. They're going to be twins. So that's not going to work. What's the benefit to the man? I don't think there is a benefit for the man if you're doing it the right way. Ain't it crazy how even the wrong shit got a right way? It's crazy the way things work. But yeah, I would not be able to do that. Based on the people that I've talked to, even the men that I talk to, and I know a different caliber of men. I know some really good men. They're are really good at being bad, whatever. They're not perfect, but they're really good men. And family is a really big thing to them. So for most of them, it's like, I can't take care of more than one woman. I can't take care of X amount of kids. No, I wouldn't be able to do it. It would drive me crazy. So to their point, I get it. I wouldn't be able to do it if I was them either. Not the way that society would even look at the stuff. Yeah, it's a no for me. It's a complete no for me. Like, I know that everybody has issues. I know that everybody sins. I know all of that, right? But I thought that the older we get, you're supposed to gain wisdom and at least try our best to get as far away from doing things that we know that are inappropriate as possible. And you could say, so somebody told me, well, times are changing. I didn't know that that was a prerequisite to put on skates to hell. I didn't know that that was a prerequisite. Yes, things are changing. And yes, there are different things that are out there that you can explore, but why not just explore them with your partner? A lot of times too, when these people are in these poly relationships. So let me tell you a story, real story. So somebody was telling me that they just left their relationship because the person in the relationship that they were with and have kids with for several years, both great parents, you left that relationship because that person was not being faithful, right? You left because the person wasn't being faithful. The relationship you got into, he just had a kid, and just having a kid, he's like 6 years younger than you, don't have his own place, the girl don't like you, and you're calling it a that's not a poly relationship. That's he just had a baby with her, and he probably don't want to do nothing he's supposed to be doing, and so he's entertaining the option to be with you as well. But you're the one, because you are more mature, you're older, you already have kids. They're looking to her to kind of be the head, if you will, and she's the one that is making the good decisions, providing a foundation. Like, it's not mutual. This particular person, but you left your relationship where everything, I'm not condoning cheating, but everything else was good except, that was happening. So why didn't you just offer that in your relationship? Which leads me to believe you can't be in love with the person that you entertain these type of relationships with. And I think that they have expiration date. I do. I don't, like Vanessa was saying, there hasn't been one that has lasted, right? They are for a little while. They're until the new fad comes out. They're until that makeup of that particular group, they beat each other up. I've seen people fight each other. I've seen people start to go like neck to neck, and then the male is not happy anymore. The female cheats because she's depressed and miserable, and she thought that, again, by accepting this particular lifestyle, it would decrease the probability of him not being at home. It would decrease the probability of him not being a good dad. The sex life would be better because now, you have her and him, because some were bisexual. So sex was just going to be so amazing that everybody was just going to be happy, and you was just going to live happily ever after. Fido. If that was the case, nobody would be having an interchange relationship. That just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not dealing with somebody else's attitude that much. I'm just not. I also still believe that there are soul ties, right? So if one person is only in it for money, my ex was telling me the couple he knows, the girl is in it and she's making them believe that she's in it, she's invested. Oh, I want the best for all of us. She's the one that like stays at home. She's not in it for that reason. She's in it because her rent gets paid. They make sure she's okay. They think she's doing X, Y, and Z, and she's not. So why people don't think that deception would be involved in these type of relationships where that Pandora's box is bigger and more opportunity for deception, more opportunity for things to occur is present. Why do you think it's going to go away? Why do you think it would be left? Who would really think that? Nobody in the comments that I've seen so far, and I know all of the ladies, all of them have good sense. They all come from, they all come from two parent households. I just don't see it. If it's for sex, you could stay single for sex. You could try all of those different things. They have different, what are those things called that you go to, where you go in like a dungeon, but it's not a dungeon, like a, what is that thing called? It's the actual name for it. They have one, I think, at Eastville or something. They just starting to have them out here, but you can do different things. You can have menage a twinkets. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. Knock yourself out. But I can guarantee you, you're not going to want to raise your grandkids or attend your kids' school assembly with you and 16 other women. And most of all, if that male tells you that that's what he wants to do, offer up your ex. See if they like that. Have you ever noticed that everything that happens, I wonder where the disrespect came in, because I do think a lot of it is disrespectful. I do. And the reason why is because everything is offered on the female end. Have you ever noticed that? We the ones that have to, if you want to do things through the back way, the male doesn't ask you to try it on him first. If you want to include other people in a relationship, It's not another male. Um, because of his ego. I mean, fuck your heart. His ego matters more, way more. Um, and then the dudes don't even do what they're supposed to. You still struggling. He driving your car. He coming in and benefiting from you. So now he just got two houses to live with. If you grew up in the 80s, most of us had a dad that was with somebody else and your mom and dad weren't together. We already saw what that looks like. It was no name for it. I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I personally could not have a poly relationship. I have zero interest. Um, and based on all of the people I talked to before I came on the show, and that's another thing. Nobody wanted to come on the show. Only Vanessa wanted to come on the show, which, by the way, she was supposed to be here, but she has COVID. So that's why you see her like in her car driving and stuff like that, because she has to quarantine. She can't be in the house and outside of the room or anything like that. So she did the best that she could. We will do a part two, but she has COVID. Obviously still feeling well because y'all see the way she looks, but nobody wanted to do the show. And what's very interesting is I asked males because I wanted their perspective, because my whole twist on it that I was going to take is, okay, if you're a male in a poly relationship and the setup is supposed to be that the women get taken care of, and now you're a male with two females to take care of, two households, no different than, unfortunately, these blended families, but it's literally on your shoulders. What is your benefit? Like, is pussy that valuable? Because if it is, ladies, we need to figure out how to leverage it to our advantage. If it's really that important that it would make a dude be in a poly relationship just to say he's in a poly relationship, but he's not the one really benefiting, he's taking care of two households, we're doing something wrong. We are. We need to figure out how to leverage it. I know they say it got power, but I don't know. We need to figure some things out. We do. And it should probably start with beating the hell out of women who just do things, and if they bringing the value down. But I digress. So if there are any more, I'll put up everybody's comments. If there are additional questions, we can go ahead and get them. If you're on Facebook, please switch over. I cannot see your comments, but I can see that they are on Facebook. And I am not going to switch over. Today's show, I'm trying to bring them down to 45 minutes to an hour, out of respect for your time. Although most of you have told me you watch all the way through, and I super appreciate it. But I thought poly would be a good topic, but the men they won't comment. Maybe if I pay them. Y'all think I should pay them? Maybe if I let them sit behind a fuzzy screen, like let them keep up their picture, or icon instead of their picture. But I want to know that. What could possibly be the true benefit of a poly relationship the way that they exist now? I don't think there is a benefit. I think that people are just overly, I won't even call it sexual. I think that it's always going to be a need for more. I think that every time that something opens up, it opens up more and more and more and more. And the perfect example is, it started as LGBT, right? Now the acronym is so damn long. What was wrong with just being gay and lesbian? Why did it need to go into all of these different things? I don't understand. I really don't. Because what it seems like is everybody is just trying to be set apart and be different. But why aren't any of those things being used in something that could actually benefit life? Like, you guys can figure all of that out, even as parents. That's my question for parents. You can figure all of that out, but you can't. I know what it is. It's that damn new math. It's the new math. Ever since they created this damn new math, that's why my math ain't mathing. That's why my math ain't mathing. They created this new math, and now all of a sudden everybody want to be new and have their own title and they own everything. Y'all, I knew I was smart, but that's real smart. That's real smart. Y'all know that's when it started. When math didn't start mathing, It was because of the new math that makes no sense. Now nothing else makes any sense. And I'll end with this because I'm hungry. I'll end with this. Um, I'm always going to end with Bible stuff because it's important, or a prayer or a toast. But in the Bible, it even says that in these particular days, husband will be against wife, parent against child, child against parent. Everything that's right will be wrong, and everything that's wrong will be right. And if y'all can't see it, I tell you. But I'm telling you, some of us could see with or without our glasses on, and we could see that some shit is messed up. This poly stuff is a joke. And if you're in that type of relationship and I love you outside of that, just like you love me outside of my things that you don't agree with. I don't agree with it. I think it's a whole hot mess. I haven't seen it at all where it has worked out. Somebody to end up in jail or on first 48. A lot of people end up on first 48, which means in the real world, you're going to jail for it. Um, and and I'll even end with this: it's women. It's not the men. They're ending up in a morgue though. I don't know, child. If that's what y'all want to do, knock yourself out. Let me take my vitamin and mind my damn business, which happens to be anything I want to talk about because it's my show. But let me go ahead and toast. I am going to toast to living your life and being happy. If what you're doing makes you happy, you should be able to do it out loud. A relationship is not something that's private. What you do in that relationship obviously is. But if you cannot be in your relationship and attend church, go see your mama, um, have things around your kids, then it's probably a phase. Okay. And you probably shouldn't call it a relationship and just dip in and dip out. I think that you should. But trying to put all these labels, we don't need a title. It's not even going to be long enough to be a title. Protect yourself and make sure that you're taking care. Women, if you are entering these poly relationships because you think it gives you some type of control and it allows you to know what's going on with your man, because that's always worked. Um, don't don't do anything that does not make you happy. If it's not beneficial to you, doesn't make you happy, please don't do it because it's not worth it. No, don't cover a knife gash with a band-aid, not even a Dora one. But that's it. See you later. If you like, you can send all of your questions so that Vanessa can answer them, or we can have them on part two. If you know somebody that's in a poly relationship, can you do me a favor and inbox me um, maybe a short story that you may have, or tell me to call you? Most of you that listen are my friends and family. So call me with your stories because, honey, when I tell you a dead end, stuff I heard was more of the same, nothing. So those of us that are married, those of us that are married working on your relationship, those of you that want to be married, those of you that are in love and in relationships, we can keep doing what we're doing. It's working. Just saying. But that's it. And you guys have a good night. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next